بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear brothers and sisters, this is your brother Isa Ma. Welcome to another episode of Chinese Stories with Islamic Wisdom. Today's story is called Yang Zhen Mu Ye Que Jin, which means Yang Zhen rejected gold in the middle of the night. It's from Hou Han Shu, history book. And we actually studied this text in middle school. So Yang Zhen was a government official, a very righteous man, and once he recommended someone to important position in the government, and that person obtained that position. And after many years, they met again, and this person who he recommended, called Wang Mi, he at the middle of the night took out a lot of gold, 5 kilograms of gold actually, to gift Yang Zhen. And because he said, thank you for recommending me back then, and I have such status and even material wealth because of your recommendation. So he's now thanking Yang Zhen for what he did. And then Yang Zhen, instead of feeling happy, was offended. He said, 故人之君，君不知故人. He said, I know you, yani, I know who you are. I saw your talent and I saw your potential. That's why I recommended you. But you don't know me. Like 君不知故人, you don't see what kind of a person I am. You are giving me gold as if I was a corrupt person, as if I recommended you for my own benefit, which is not the case. He said, 何也? How can you do this? Right? He was offended, even humiliated. And then Wang Mi, the one who wants to give him gold, said, 木叶无知者. He said, it's in the middle of the night, nobody knows. Right? It's late night, nobody knows. And look at what Yang Zhen said. This is where the Islamic wisdom comes in. 正曰, 天知, 神知, 我知, 子知, 何谓无知? Yang Zhen said, the sky knows and God knows and I know and you know. How can you know? How can you say nobody knows? Again, he said the sky knows and God knows. Literally, 神知, God knows. 我知, I know and you know. How can you say that nobody knows? 密溃而出. Wang Mi, the one who wants to give him gold, felt utterly ashamed and left this occasion. So here, although what Yang Zhen meant by Shen, God, could be different from the Islamic concept, the monotheist concept of God, but it's also, in a way, a supreme being, right? Someone with a full picture of things. So he has this consciousness of a sense of accountability. He has this consciousness that my actions and my words are being noticed and recorded, even if not by people, but by a higher being, by a transcendental existence. So this kind of consciousness prevented him from doing something which would have no worldly consequence, right? If he accepted this gold, yani it's a gift from someone who he helped once, it's totally legitimate, it's totally justifiable, but he didn't do it, and the reason, part of the reason he didn't do it is that he acknowledges the presence of this God, the presence of this higher being, which is very similar to the concept of taqwa, right? We mentioned the word taqwa a lot in Islam, and taqwa, of course, is a very complex idea, but at the basis, it means this consciousness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing and all-seeing, and وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ, wherever you are, He is with you. And as a matter of fact, the Prophet ﷺ said that ihsan, excellence, right, the highest level of faith, to worship Allah as if you can see Him. For indeed, if you cannot see Him, He sees you. So this consciousness of the fact that Allah Azza wa Jalla knows what you're doing and knows not only your external actions, but even your internal states, your intentions, your thoughts. So this kind of consciousness is taqwa, and is really at the core of the Islamic teachings, right? All the other virtues, all the other qualities that Islam desires to nurture in a person is rooted in this fundamental quality of taqwa, of this consciousness, which Yang Zhen, this Chinese person in this story, demonstrated to some degree, right? Not exactly 100% the same, but he has a level of consciousness which prevented him from not even something evil, but prevented him from something that's against his own principle. And that's really quite amazing, right? A lot of times we think about what people might say or think more than what Allah Azza wa Jal might think about what we do. So we should change that. We should have this God consciousness, this taqwa, and guide our actions and behaviors based on the fact that Allah is present. Allah knows what you're doing, and Allah is recording what you're doing, and Allah Azza wa Jal will reward you based on what you're doing. And the word reward here is, I'm using it in a neutral sense, not only positively. If you do something wrong, there will be consequence in a negative light. So when we studied this story, of course we admired this person, Yang Zhen. But it's only later, after I learned about Islam, that I started to appreciate this quality of consciousness. It is because of this quality that he was as righteous as he was. So if we want to be righteous, if we want to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should nurture this consciousness. When you are presented with an opportunity to do something against the teachings of Islam or against the principles of Islam, then you should tell yourself, as Yang Zhen told himself, the sky knows, and God knows, and I know, and you know. How can you say that nobody knows? Indeed, وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. Upon everyone that knows is the all-knowing. Al-Alim is always there. He knows everything you do. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ. So, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you benefited, and remember to share this to others if you find it beneficial, and hope you keep following this series where I will share more Chinese stories that demonstrate Islamic wisdom. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.